Hey everybody,
Hello.
and welcome to Garage Rock episode number 16, Halloween special.
Halloween special, Cam.
My name is Cam, like Steve just said, and Steve is just standing over there. How are you, Steve?
I'm definitely not standing.
Yeah, what's going on?
I'm waiting on doctor's reports, but I may have torn my hamstring last night.
Oh,
So this is my leg is up. It's iced.
what did you do?
Indoor soccer, and it was set the scene, Cam. 30 seconds to go. We're down by 1 goal. The ball spills loose. Steve just jumps onto it. Steve's talking about himself in the third person like an absolute,
we love when
like an
people do
absolute
that.
sports star. And then I was running down.
And he was going down to centre half forward. It was a beautiful mark at the
And-
MCG, and Steve comes along, and what happens?
As soon as he kicks the ball, his hamstring just goes, nope, fuck that, bang. And it sent me straight to the ground. And
Sign of the times are
And-
getting old. Did
but-
you win? Did you say?
No.
Oh.
By the time I hobbled off and they restarted the game, we didn't win. But
I blame that it's Halloween today.
you blame Halloween for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, why the fuck not?
Past a black cat, and that's why you fell over and hurt yourself. Now,
Yes.
pretty excited about this episode. We've got a lot going on, Steve, but
we
first,
do, yes.
we want you to send us new music to our email at contact@redskymusic.com.au,
Yep.
which we'll get to a bit later, our new music segment, which
Of
we've
course.
got some bloody awesome songs this week.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about them,
Oh,
Steve. I
awesome.
Can't wait to go through them. Also, where are we?
At the moment, we're in my mother's garage. No.
Yay!
Hey.
Hey, Mom! There's something in the background. I don't know where that came from.
Blink.
Where else can you find us, Steve?
You can find us on iTunes, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio.
And now,
And now,
where else?
TuneIn Radio,
Yes.
and also on Stitcher. So the word is spreading.
Like wildfire.
exactly.
We're like a fire in your garage.
Exactly. Well, yeah, one that you don't want to put out. We're also on Facebook as well as Twitter and Instagram with the handle @_Garage Rock.
That's @_Garage Rock. Now, Steve, we've got tour announcements
Yep.
as well as our new segment, Top 5.
Top 5, exactly. This week we're talking about songs that give you goosebumps and chills.
That ties in well with our Halloween special this week.
Absolutely.
And you did an interview with Uncle Pete Murray.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're still waiting on the DNA test to come back to whether he is my uncle or not. I'm pretty sure he isn't.
In my heart, he always will be.
But he was a great guy to chat with. And so check out the interview. And he was talking about his music and movements escapes.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like a week-long retreat where they, do
Doesn't it
yoga
sound
and
delightful?
surfing and then, serenaded by a campfire on the beach by Pete Murray.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And so they've got Brisbane Broncos legend Sam Thaiday joining them.
Thaiday.
Joining him for next one in March. So
That's awesome. Make sure you check out the full interview on our podcast.
absolutely.
Now, Steve,
Yep.
last week we mentioned the second lineup for Falls Festival.
Yep.
The second lineup for Download is coming out
This week.
in this week.
Yeah, so I'm hoping it would be out by today. Unfortunately, it's
It's
not.
not,
but
so we'll chat about it next week.
we'll dissect it next
Very
week.
interested to see what's coming out.
Yes.
The second lineup. This is awesome.
Yeah, more bands added to the list and to an already awesome list. You've got Ozzy Osbourne, Anthrax, Slayer, Me First and the Gimme Gimmes.
Yeah.
So many Ghosts. There's so many awesome bands. But Cam,
Yes.
Anthony Kiedis,
Yes.
Red Hot Chili Peppers. He was kicked out of an LA Lakers game.
He got up to a little bit of a mischief there, Steve.
Yeah, well, he cracked the shits, and I'm not one to talk, but we might get onto that in a minute. But the LA Lakers were playing against the Houston Rockets, and Houston player Chris Paul came to blows with Rondo from the Lakers, and as Paul was being led from the court, the Chili Peppers frontman was escorted by security after he gave the bird to a number of players and started hurling abuse at Chris Paul.
I actually saw this story online, Steve,
Yeah.
and it was a bit of clickbait. It said Anthony Kiedis spitting on Houston Rockets players or
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
that, and I watched the video and he didn't spit at them at all, but
Maybe it's one of those, when you speak and you've got a bit of saliva and a little tiny bit comes out,
Yeah,
and then they're
well,
like, that's it, he spat on him.
technically he spat on him even though
Exactly.
he was just shouting stuff at them.
Exactly. Now here's an ad for insurance.
Yeah, all of a sudden I felt like a Mars bar. I don't know, it's weird.
But he was at the game with Flea, of course, Red Hot Chili Peppers bass player.
Yeah.
They are massive Lakers fans.
Yeah.
They even wrote a song in the 80s called Magic Johnson about Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they are huge fans. And Flea played the national anthem. Now, have you seen him play the national anthem at the basketball? I think it was Kobe Bryant's farewell game.
Yeah, I did see that.
It is the weirdest rendition of it's just him with a bass
yeah.
and just all different distortion pedals, and he just completely riffs all over the anthem, and it makes no sense, but it's glorious to just watch. And the players' reactions, everyone's looking at each other like, "What the hell is this?" But yeah, so actually check that out if you're online. Check that out.
When I saw this, Steve, I was interested because I know I've mentioned it a million times and I always bang on about it, but reading his Anthony Kiedis autobiography, Scar Tissue, I'd love to know his life from when that book finished to now.
Yeah, maybe
I want to know what else is going on. Yeah, give us a follow-up. Scar Tissue number 2.
Anthony, if you're listening.
Scar Tissue number 2, the skin graft. I don't know.
Wow.
Steve, you're a passionate sports fan, so you know what he's on about. You know what's going on.
I've never been ejected, but it's because I went to the footy earlier this year with yourself and your wife and 2 kids.
And the kids, yeah. Steve had to restrain himself somewhat.
It's one of those things, you go to the football and before the game starts, you assess how many children are nearby and and how close they are. And because our team, we both go for the Saints, and we played terribly in that game.
Yeah, it was...
And your son sitting next to it, and he's just so upbeat. And it was like, there's 10 minutes to go. He's like, if we kick 1 goal every minute, we'll win this. I'm like, we've kicked 4 goals for the match. I don't think we're going to kick 10. I love that optimism.
You got to love children. That. So innocent. Isn't it great?
Yeah, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, I envy that innocence because we're getting flogged.
Funny story about the footy.
Yeah.
My mate from work, massive Collingwood fan.
Yep.
Full of tattoos. He's even got tattoos on the top of his ears. Looks like his pen leaked. Anyway. Anyway, he went to the grand final. He managed to get tickets to see Collingwood the grand final. And he did a Snapchat of him and his mate. They had the Rocky theme playing in the background, and they had a briefcase, and they opened it up, and the tickets are in there. Anyway, fast forward to the match.
Yeah.
He got kicked out at quarter time.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't let him back in. Because I think he was getting a bit rowdy and, you know, whatever. Yeah. And probably just the way he looks. Like, he's a really good bloke, but he just has a lot of tattoos.
Yeah.
Anyway, people are bagging him on Facebook saying, oh, you got kicked out, you got to miss him winning, and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I wanted to get kicked out. I don't care because they lost, so I wanted to get kicked out.
It's interesting you say that. Like, Molly Meldrum, iconic Australian music guru, he went to the only time St Kilda won the flag was in 1966, and it was by 1 point, and it was getting close at the end of the game, and as soon as that point got kicked, because it would have been, if he kicked a goal, it would have been a sealer, but Barry Breen kicked a point, and Molly was so shocked at the fact that he missed that he fainted, and he missed the rest of the game.
Wow.
And so he and actually, speaking of getting kicked out, he got kicked out of the Beatles gig at Festival Hall.
Really?
For being too, like, this was pre, him being famous. This was him just as a fan.
Yeah.
And he was too excited, and he got booted out, and he's like standing outside Festival Hall just banging on the doors like Fred Flintstone. And while the Beatles were playing inside, because he got kicked out halfway through their set.
Oh, what a silly old wasp.
Oh.
Anyway, Steve, these musicians are very passionate about their sport. I think, just musicians are passionate in general, aren't they?
Of course they are.
Yeah, just like us.
Got to have a passion for something.
Speaking about passion, Steve,
yes.
You know how much I love The Living End?
Yes.
They are one of my all-time favourite bands, as you know.
Oh, yes.
I've followed them ever since I was a little tacker, knee-high to a grasshopper.
Well, you still virtually are.
Yeah, true. Now, The Living End are one of those bands, Steve, that have done absolutely everything. They've tried new things. They've toured under different names. They've done like the retrospective tour.
Yeah, that was awesome.
They've played all over the world. They're still relevant. They're still going. They're still awesome.
Yeah.
One of the best live bands you'll ever see.
Absolutely.
And now they've decided to finally release a live album.
That's right, yes.
How bloody awesome is that? Now, they've recorded this album during the 2018 European tour.
Yep.
And they're only releasing 1,000 vinyl copies, Steve.
Yes. Very limited run.
Now, Steve, I'm just going to quickly rattle off the 10 songs that are on there.
Go for it.
Because I'm just really excited about the songs that they've chosen because it's not just all their hits and what you'd expect. So We've got End of the World, Raise the Alarm, Roll On, Second Solution, Don't Lose It, How Do We Know, Drop the Needle, What Would You Do, E-Boogie,
Yeah.
and Hold Up. Now, if anyone's seen them live, you would have seen E-Boogie,
Yeah.
which is a purely instrumental song
Yep.
where each band member gets to do a solo in the song.
Yeah.
And have you seen a double bass solo before, Steve? It's,
Well, I've seen The Living
You've
End.
seen The Living End.
So
You've-
I have, yes.
It's just awesome. And Chris Sheeney's guitar, obviously, is my number one guitarist
Yes.
in our top 5 that we did. And Andy Strachan just awesome on the drums.
Yeah.
And they all play so well together. You wouldn't think there's only 3 people up on stage.
Yeah. One of my fondest memories of The Living End was like Raise the Alarm, which is on this album.
Yep.
Seeing them do that at Pyramid Rock Festival, and
Yeah.
they sort of just kicked into it. I was right near the front, and they had red and blue like siren lights
Yeah.
all over the stage, just spinning
Yeah.
around, and the band were just so tight, and it was amazing. So yeah, that's one of my memories when I think of Living End live.
Yeah.
Pyramid Rock playing Raise the Alarm.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I remember when I think I was 16 was the first time I saw them, maybe even younger, maybe about 15.
Yeah.
And they did an all-ages show because bands used to do a lot of them back then.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, it was awesome at the Palace in St Kilda.
Yep.
And they played with Area 7, and that just changed my life, that gig. It was
Yeah.
the first proper pub gig that
Yeah.
I'd ever been to, and I just loved it. I'd never seen anything like it.
Yep.
I remember my chest beating from... Trav Dempsey was a drummer back then.
Yeah.
From his bass drum just beating against my chest.
Yep.
And it was just exciting, and I was just getting into drums, and I just loved it.
Absolutely.
What a band to see live for one of your first experiences.
Yeah. My first gig was actually at the same venue. I went
Really?
to see Grinspoon on their new detention tour there.
Yep.
It was like an afternoon gig. Took my girlfriend at the time. And was
Yeah.
like, oh, it was so cute and adorable. And then I broke her toe. I jumped and I landed on her foot.
Well, she shouldn't have been standing
Well,
there.
obviously. What was she
Obviously it's
doing
her
next to
fault.
me? Yeah, clearly. Yeah, Living End though.
Yeah, The Living End. Now, Steve, like I said, only 1,000 of these vinyl copies, which have been released in red and black.
Yep.
If you do want a copy, Steve,
Yes.
which I'll be getting one.
And they'll be selling out quick, so you better hurry.
They'll be selling out quick sticks. Head to sound-merch.com.au and pick up your copy. Now, Steve,
Yes.
rewind back to 2003 when my old band, New Holland Drive,
Yep.
were doing a lot of gigs, doing a lot of stuff. We had a band manager.
Yeah.
And she used to work for a local radio station, Casey Radio.
Yep.
And out of the blue, she comes up to me and she says, "Hey, Cam." I'm like, "Yes." And she's like, "I'm interviewing Scott Owen from The Living End on my radio show. Would you care to join me?" And I said, "Hell yeah."
Yeah.
I mean, obviously no radio experience. Still no radio experience.
Clearly.
I'd never aspired to do interviews.
Yep.
They just keep following me.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, I mean, and why wouldn't they?
yeah, I wrote out all the questions, went in there and did the interview, a phone interview with
Yep.
Scott Owen from The Living End. This is after Modern Artillery was released.
Yep.
And I think we should play a little bit of it if
Yeah,
you like. What do
found
you
it.
reckon?
Found it on cassette tape and
I
you sent
found
it
it on
through.
cassette tape and sent it through to Steve. I might have a listen to this. I didn't think I had it anymore. I was merely but a little 18-year-old boy.
And we also have Cam in, who's going to be our special guest interviewee.
Right. Hello, Cam.
How you doing?
Are you there?
You there?
Or is he lost in radio airwave land somewhere?
How you doing, Scott?
No, there he is. Get
Here I am.
How you going?
Yeah, not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, good.
How's everything going with The Living End?
Very good indeed.
That's the way.
Yes.
Yeah, we've got a few questions to ask you today.
Oh, that's good.
You sound so young there, Cam. So
I know.
young and full of promise. What the hell happened? Actually, you kind of still like that now.
I would have thought, when I found it, I thought, oh, my voice is going to be really different, but it's actually not really.
No.
No.
And speaking of interviews, you've got an interview with Slowly next week.
I know,
So,
Steve.
You've been talking about their album and how much you love it.
The universe
Yes.
has worked their magic to, I get to have a chat with my boys.
Yeah. So it's going to be good. So tune in for that next week.
Yeah, looking forward to that one, Steve.
Exactly.
Now,
something I think a lot of people are looking forward to. Coldplay, they've got a new
Yes.
documentary out called A Head Full of Dreams.
Yeah, I hadn't heard of this until the other day.
Yeah, now it's filmed over 20 years by filmmaker Matt Whitecross, who also directed the brilliant Oasis documentary Supersonic.
Yep.
The trailer for the doco looks awesome. I think no matter what your thoughts on the band are or their music, they are amazing live.
Yeah.
And the doco looks like it really captures that from what I've seen from the trailer. So you can check the trailer out. That's out now. It's in cinemas for one night only on November 14. So book online at your favourite cinema. Now, I've seen Coldplay live a couple of times, actually.
Yeah, you saw him over in the UK, didn't you?
Yeah, I saw him at Wembley Stadium, and
Wow.
I was over there and I thought, well, why not?
Yeah.
If not, why not?
When in Rome.
What's your favourite concert? And I went to Wembley Stadium, and an amazing show. And one of the thoughts that will stick with me,
Yep.
is they were playing clocks,
Yes, yeah.
and it was pissing down with rain. All of a sudden, it just started raining.
Oh, really?
And just standing in a sea of thousands of people. Jumping up and down to clocks in the pouring rain in the middle of Wembley.
What an
And
experience.
I was like, wow, this is...
That's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
It was,
That.
and
What
it
was
was-
Wembley Stadium like? Such an iconic venue, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. This was the new Wembley Stadium,
Yeah.
not the same as the Live Aid version.
No.
But I thought it was amazing. Like, I was probably standing about 10, 15 metres away from the stage, so the sound quality was fine because I'm right
You
there.
always get right up
I
in there,
was-
Steve. There's 110% or nothing at all with Steve at concerts.
Exactly. And actually, I had nothing on that day, so I got to the ground early and I just camped out and got to the front, so it was awesome. And that was also Jay-Z was the support act.
Yeah.
Girls Aloud, who were like a British version of Bardot. They were the pop stars in the UK, I
Yep.
think. And it was an awesome show.
The only experience I've had with Coldplay is one of the early big day outs. Did we
Yeah.
go to that one?
I didn't go to that one.
No, that was my first big day out. And
Yeah.
at that time, all I was about was punk.
Yeah.
Short, fast, loud.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, you had a lot of big bands, rocking bands up there.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, this band that I'd never heard of before from England comes on stage with acoustic guitars. I'm like, acoustic guitars?
Yeah.
We want to rock out. What's going on? And fast forward a couple of years, I know who they are. And
Yeah.
I think people fall in love with a band like that in different stages.
Yep.
People love them straight away, or they get in because they've got different sort of genres and
Yeah.
things like that.
And there'll be people who zone in on a certain period of a band's
Yeah.
timeline and go, this is the area of the band that I really enjoy.
Which is why a documentary on their 20 years
Yeah.
would be amazing to watch, to see their different stages.
Absolutely.
Now, Steve, another amazing alive.
Alive.
Well, they are
they're
alive.
they're not dead.
They're not dead. I'm talking Arcties.
Arcties. Wow. You're talking about the Arcties. Hey, we're the Arcties. People say we Arcty around.
We're too busy Arcties.
Arctic Monkeys, perhaps.
Steve, I'm talking Arctic Monkeys.
Yes.
Obviously. They're going to be touring.
Yes.
They're coming to Australia and New Zealand, playing a number of arena shows in support of their 6th studio album, Steve.
Yep.
It's called Tranquility Base Hotel and Casino.
Yep.
I'm going to rattle off some dates for you, Steve.
Go for it,
And
Cam.
also the people who are listening.
Yep.
Now, they're playing in Perth on
Yep.
Saturday, 23rd of February at RAC Arena. Melbourne on Tuesday, 26th of February at Rod Laver Arena. Sydney on Friday, 1st of March at Kudos Bank Arena. Brisbane on Sunday, 3rd of March at the Brisbane Entertainment Centre. And Auckland on Wednesday, 6th of March at Spark Arena. I don't know why I went American there.
Yeah, you should have gone a bit like this.
But like this at
They're playing
Auckland
on
Arena.
on Wednesday.
The Arctic Monkeys. Monkey.
The Arctic Monkeys.
Sorry, New Zealand listeners. I'm not very good at doing the accent. But tickets do go on sale to the general public, 2 p.m. local time on Wednesday, November 7th from Ticket Tech. Now, Steve,
Yes.
if you would like to get in quicker, sign up to Frontier Touring.
Yep.
And you'll be able to get your pre-sales from November 1st.
Yeah, that's just for 24 hours. So
Yeah.
you got to get in there quick.
Get in there quick. Be there or be square or something like that.
Yeah.
Now, these guys are an absolutely amazing live act, Steve.
Yeah.
And their last album, AM, was a massive hit, and the tour sold out really quickly. So if you want to see them, I'd say get in really, really quick.
Absolutely. These shows will sell out. So, and their last tour, as you mentioned, the AM tour, that was huge as well. So, if you want to get in, get in quick.
That's it. And if you don't feel like having a mosh, I bet you'd look good on the dance floor. So
Well played, well played. Another tour that's just been announced.
Yeah.
The Paper Kites.
Yep.
Melbourne indie folk rock outfit, the Paper Kites, have announced the 2019 national tour in support of their album On the Corner Where You Live.
Bless.
Which we featured one of their songs, Deep Blue Burn, on our podcast a few weeks ago. They're playing 9 shows across the country, so I'm going to just rattle these bad boys off as quick as I
go
can.
for it, Sven.
So listen, rapid fire. Here we go. Canberra, Thursday, 28th of February at Molo Live at the ANU. Newcastle on 1st of March at 48 Watt Street. Sydney on Saturday, 2nd of March at Taronga Zoo as a part of their Twilight concert series.
Yeah, awesome.
Those zoo series are awesome.
They go off, don't they?
Yeah, there's heaps. There's quite a few bands playing there as well. So head to their website to check out the full list. Anyway, back to the Paper Kites. Adelaide, Friday, 8th of March at the Palais as part of the Adelaide Festival. Perth on Saturday 9th of March at the Rosemont Hotel. Dunsborough in WA on Sunday 10th of March at the Dunsborough Tavern. Miami in Queensland on Friday the 15th of March at Miami Marquetta. Brisbane on Saturday the 16th of March at the Trifford. And in Melbourne on Saturday the 23rd of March at the Forum Theatre. General public tickets go on sale on Thursday the 1st of November at 9am. For all tour information and to buy tickets, head to thepaperkites.com.au.
Now, Steve.
Yeah.
Speaking of shows that sell out really quickly.
Yep.
I reckon there'll be a few sold out on this tour.
Oh, absolutely. I reckon their Forum one will definitely go out, hometown show. So if you want to see them at the Forum, jump in quick because other people might jump in front of you and they might land on your foot and break your toe.
We wouldn't want to ruin what's been a good day, Steve.
Exactly, Cam.
Speaking of a good day,
Yes.
have you got a bit of hay fever?
It's that obvious, isn't it?
I had it this morning and I had a tablet and I'm all right, but you've run out.
Yeah.
So if anyone thinks you're a bit nasally, it's not because you've been snorting too much coke.
No.
It's because you haven't been snorting enough.
Exactly. I haven't cleared the cobwebs out. So I'm sounding a bit meh.
But you know what's going to... You know what... blah, 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 blah. I know what will make your hay fever feel better and clear up.
What's that, Cam?
It's time for our top 5.
Oh, I was thinking Sudafed. But no, yeah, awesome. Top 5's even better.
Nah, this is going to make you feel heaps better. Because last week was fun as, wasn't it? It was top 5 favourite collaborations.
Yep.
Now, Steve, you forgot to
mention a couple.
A couple of honourable mentions.
It's one of those things, as soon as we finished recording, I actually said, I forgot
shit.
to... Yeah. Smooth by Santana and Rob Thomas.
Of course.
And another song is End of Me by Apocalyptica and Gavin Rossdale. Apocalyptica is a strings
They're a
band.
string
and then they have guest
orchestra.
vocalists. Orchestra, yeah. And Gavin Rossdale from Bush sung the song called End of Me. It's awesome. The guitar over the top of it, it's brilliant. So check that out.
I remember hearing their version of... It's purely instrumental of One by Metallica.
Yes, I've heard that. It's amazing.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, Steve...
So many things for our listeners to go and Google and check out this week.
I know.
They've got to look at Anthony Kiedis spitting on people. They've got to...
I hope they're writing this down.
They better be.
There's a lot to remember.
We also had, speaking of top 5 collaborations,
Yep.
Michael got in touch and he said, Get Back by the Beatles and Billy Preston.
Oh, of course.
Get back to where you once belonged. That's all in the past now. That was our collaborations. That was last week. We've put up our 5 on Instagram. If you haven't listened to the last episode, you can check out on our Instagram. We listed our top 5 each.
Yep, at _Garage Rock. Now, Steve, this week we're doing our top 5 songs that give you goosebumps.
Ooh, yeah, Halloween special.
Just to coincide with Halloween. It all fits in together. Now,
exactly. We do plan these things, don't we?
We do. We've had a few people write into us about what gives them goosebumps.
Yep.
Surprisingly, no songs. Nah. Kelly wrote in and said, When I'm Down by Chris Cornell.
Well, Chris Cornell.
That voice gives you goosebumps the best of times, you know.
Yeah.
Trina has said, Never Give Up by Sia. Sia. What a bloody beautiful voice.
Exactly.
Arguably one of the best voices in Australia. She is just amazing.
Yeah, I'd go with that.
Brenton has written in and said, Where Did You Sleep Last Night by Nirvana, which is from Unplugged in New York.
Yeah, they close with that. That is...
I've got it. Speaking of vinyl, I've got that on vinyl.
Oh, nice.
So beautiful. Such a warm feeling on vinyl, isn't it? Warm and cozy. Shut up. Danielle wrote in and she said, I Can Feel a Hot One by Manchester Orchestra.
Yeah.
Now, I've seen them live a few times and that singer gives me goosebumps. So, he does one song and it's just him on guitar and he's barely strumming the guitar. Like, I'm talking barely strumming it.
Yep.
Absolutely belting out vocals, and the whole place is dead quiet, just enthralled by his voice.
Yeah.
Gives you goosebumps, Steve.
Oh, that would.
Unbelievable. Actually, just thinking of Manchester Orchestra, I think of Kevin Devine. I saw him play with him a couple of years ago. He did a song where he stepped away from the mic
Yep.
and he just sang in front of the audience, just screamed this song out. I can't remember which song it was. No mic. Everyone was just standing in awe watching him. It was absolutely beautiful. I loved it.
Yeah, my mum actually, she went to see Michael Bublé. at
Michael Bubble. Nice.
Michael Bubble at Rod Laver Arena, which, I mean, it's a big arena and it holds about 14,000 people, I think. And it came to, I think, the end of the show, and he just put his mic on the ground.
Yeah.
And he just belted out a song.
Wow.
To, like, Rod Laver Arena.
In an arena.
This is where they hold the Oz Open finals in the tennis. So it's a massive arena, and he just belted, and people at the back could still hear him.
Wow.
That's amazing. Whether you like the boob or not, that's...
I love Michael Bublé. It reminds me of Christmas. I love his Christmas album.
It's getting to that time. As soon as the Halloween decorations come down from the shops, there's already Christmas stuff up, and
I know.
I remember when I used to work in retail. I used to work at the Reject Shop when I was like 15.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and just in the shopping centre I was working in when it came to Christmas time, it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Yeah,
you
actually,
hear
I work.
all, or just ad nauseum, just all Christmas songs.
What about? I remember working in retail as a teenager at the same sort of time, and I remember Last Christmas.
Oh, yes.
And it would be stuck in your head for the rest of the night.
Absolutely. And also, All I Want for Christmas Is You. Jeez. Get ready for that's. I think I saw on Facebook or something a timeline graph of how often that song gets listened to throughout the year.
Yeah.
And then it's like, as soon as it sort of gets October, November, December, there's this massive just mountain, and then it just drops off. But every year it's the same thing.
Oh, bless.
Bless.
Steve, we've got one more. Adam has written in, and he has said, bless his cotton socks. So we're talking songs that give you goosebumps. Adam's written in and said, the theme from Trapdoor, the 80s. The 80s UK animated series, the claymation
and
series.
for those of you who don't know, it sounds a little like this.
Burke, feed me. Where's my breakfast?
Come on, Boney. Yeah, I mean, that's it's giving me chills just thinking about it right
I
now.
freaking love that show. I used to love those 5-minute shows that were in between shows on Channel 2.
Oh, yeah. There's not that many episodes of it, actually.
Isn't there?
No, they just repeat.
Just constantly repeat. That's like Faulty Towers. You think, that's a series that ran for years, and there's only 13 episodes.
Yeah, exactly.
Ever.
Exactly.
It's crazy. Anyway, that's another story. Now, Steve,
Yes.
I'm going to put you under the bus again.
Yep.
You want to go first, big fella?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Now, I'll put these together. I've got an honourable mention as well. I actually put these 5 songs together in a playlist.
Yep.
And I listened to them back to back. I had to put a jumper on. I was chilling. That's how much of a chill I was getting from listening to these songs.
And it's been 30 degrees, so it's not like it's cold.
Exactly, no. Honourable mention.
Yep.
Actually, I've got a few covers in here, actually. This is a cover of Tears for Fears, Everybody Wants to Rule the World by Lorde.
Ah, yes.
Now, apparently it's in one of the Hunger Games films. I haven't watched that, but it was on the trailer for a video game, Assassin's Creed Unity, which it was set in the French Revolution, and just the way she's got a haunting voice.
I know that voice.
And there are moments where it just builds up, but the whole intro to the song is very slow, and it's just there's nothing to it, and then it's just her voice, and Cam, I'm not joking. I've just put my arm out.
Steve literally has goosebumps on his arm,
and this is
right
only
now.
The honourable mention.
I know, like literally has goosebumps, and I'm not lying. I should take a photo and put it on Instagram. Try and get it going again. They've gone down, You're going flaccid.
Oh, yeah. I can't help it, Cam. Anyway, here we go. Number 5.
Yep.
Yet again, another cover. This one's a live cover. It's a song called Ship of Fools by World Party. And Paul Dempsey from Something for Kate. He did they've got a Live at the Corner Hotel album. And he does, it's just him acoustically. This song, it goes through so many levels. He brings this sort of raspy voice that he's got to the song, that just adds this whole other dimension to it, and the fact that he's not playing as much guitar,
Yep.
and it's just a very stripped back version of the song to the original, and it's just brilliant.
Yeah.
And he goes from the raspy parts to high parts as well. It's just so well arranged.
Such a dynamic voice and such
Absolutely.
a powerful voice.
Oh,
Remember when
yeah.
he did Wrecking Ball?
Oh
The
yes,
cover of Wrecking
course.
Ball, that gave me goosebumps when I heard
Yeah.
that because he literally just pelts that out. That's awesome.
Another song that he did was Ashes to Ashes by David Bowie.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a brilliant one. I was tossing up between the two of those, but I've gone with this. And speaking of Live at the Corner Hotel,
Mm-hmm.
he's just announced that he's coming to play a show at the Corner Hotel December 6th. Tickets go on sale today. I'll tell you what, if it hasn't already sold out, because it will. That will sell out. May have already sold out by the time this is released. Anyway, definitely worth checking out his cover of Ship of Fools. Number 4, Cam.
Yeah.
And this will probably be higher if it wasn't for the fact I've heard it a million times, but
Yeah.
it still does give me goosebumps. Where the Streets Have No Name by U2.
Oh, yeah.
Now, just the slow build-up of the song, and then the guitar comes in. It is amazing live.
Yeah.
And to see them live do it just brings absolute chills as they just build the song up, and then the guitar comes in. Ding, ding, ding,
It's a
ding,
very
ding.
emotional song, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I was actually talking about this with our co-host from the show, Alex, who it's his birthday today, by the way. Happy birthday,
Happy
Alex.
birthday, Alex.
Happy, yeah.
Well done.
Well
done on being
surprising. Congratulations on surviving another year. We were talking about our favourite versions, and there's a version they do at the Boston DVD, which is Bad into 40 into Where the Streets Have No Name. Check that out. Amazing. Number 3, Cam.
Number 3.
Kelly mentioned him before.
Yep.
Chris Cornell. His
Yes.
version of Michael Jackson's Billie Jean.
Oh, yeah. I hadn't seen that until a few months ago. You showed me.
Yeah,
Unbelievable.
that is amazing. Because when you think about the original version,
yeah.
but this is just pain and the anguish. You can just feel and
can
hear
feel
it. When you hear the original Michael Jackson song, it's just an upbeat sort of song.
Yeah.
In around.
I remember hearing Michael Jackson talk about how he wrote that song, and it started with just the bass. He wanted that bass line, the dun, dun, dun,
Yeah.
dun, 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 you know,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. But yeah.
Yeah.
And now since Chris Cornell's passed, I feel like that is even more emotional.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. If listeners out there have not heard his cover of it, just do it. Just go out and listen to it now.
Yeah, 100%.
Right now.
If you do
Well,
anything
actually,
today,
after this episode,
yeah,
go and check it out.
add that to your list
Add
of
that
things
to
to
your
do.
list. Yeah, geez, you're going to need a shopping list of what we're telling you to do. Number 2.
Yes.
No more covers anymore, Cam. Number 2, Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here.
Ah, yes.
Now, just the album Wish You Were Here, there's only like about 5 tracks, and there's just this sort of slow sort of murmur in the background,
Yeah.
and then you just hear ding, 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 ding. The guitar comes in,
Yeah.
and it's just, that is by definition a haunting song.
It is, isn't it?
That is just, when I think of songs that haunt you, just...
That comes to mind.
It does. The guitar riff is amazing. The vocals, the lyrics, everything about it is just so good. And I was tossing up about putting it at number 1, but I had Pink Floyd at number 1 the other week, so you know,
Can't be number one
can't be
every
number
week.
1 every week.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. But number 1, we're not getting ejected from Lakers games. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Under the Bridge.
Yes.
Now, just there are 2 parts of this. First of all, it's the opening guitar riff. It's
Yeah.
just when that just sort of comes in, like ding, 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 ding. It's just awesome how that just sort of comes in from nothing and it just hits. It's just so good.
Yeah.
That opening,
It's beautiful. It's a
And-
beautiful song.
and then when the build up comes in. And the female sort of choir voices come in.
Under the bridge downtown.
And it just, but the whole build up into that sort
Yeah.
of leads to we're getting somewhere, and then bang, the female vocals come in.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and also just live, they get, well, not anymore, but John Frusciante used to sing that part as well.
Yeah.
They've got their Live at Slane DVD.
Yeah.
And he kicks in on that and doing the Under the Bridge. It's brilliant. It gives me goosebumps thinking about it. I've got him right now.
Actually, John Frusciante is my favourite Chili Peppers guitarist.
Yeah.
And that's...
I think
Can you say that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you can say that.
Okay.
It's going to sound funny. My favourite chord in a song is in that song.
Yeah?
Yeah, you know, he plays like it's a real weird jazz chord just before the rim knocks come in. You know how it goes.
Yep.
That's my favourite chord in the song. Just thought I'd share that.
Yeah. So anyway, Cam, that was my top 5. Red Hot Chili Peppers, Under the Bridge,
Well
number
done,
1.
Steve. Did you find it hard to do, or was it quite easy?
I think I found it hard to sort of order them in
Yeah.
which order. But I think those were pretty good standouts to me. But Cam, now I want to hear yours. Tell me all about it.
Okay.
Tell me about it.
Now, Steve.
Why didn't Billy Joel make my list?
Now, Steve, my top 5 songs that give me goosebumps.
Go
I'd
for
like
it.
to give a couple honourable mentions as well because it's just so hard to narrow it down to 5.
I know.
Ender Will Save Us All, from Dashboard Confessional. I don't know, that song's just always resonated really well with me.
Yeah.
See You Again by Wiz Khalifa.
Oh, yes.
Now, that's the song that was written about Paul Walker, who died from Fast and Furious.
Yep.
So, it's sad.
It is sad.
Also, Body in a Box by City and Colour. I want that played at my funeral.
Okay. Another note for our listeners to take down.
Number 5, Steve.
Go for it, Cam.
Kiss Chasey.
Yes.
Aussie rockers.
Yep.
They got a song called Black Dress.
Yep.
It's sort of got like a sort of a horror theme to it, and it's just a beautiful song talking about a dead body in a black dress and his
Yeah.
guitar. I don't know. It just gives me goosebumps.
Well, that would.
Daz, the singer, has just got such an awesome voice, and it's such a well written song that I just had to put it in there.
Absolutely.
And I love me Aussie rock.
I've
who
goes without
doesn't?
saying.
Number 4, Steve.
Number 4.
One of the first albums I ever owned.
Yep.
Alanis Morissette,
Yeah.
Jagged Little Pill.
Yes.
Now, this song is technically on it because it's a secret track. But
Okay.
the secret track, it's a cappella.
Right.
The song is called Your House, and it gives you chills.
Yeah.
Listening to her amazing voice just belt out this song. It's basically about her being a stalker and going into some bloke's house and,
Okay.
using his shower and
As you do.
things like this. And she's, a stalker, and it's kind of creepy, but it's a beautiful song. She does acoustic versions of it, and there's a proper version of it, which was really good, but the secret track, it just sort of just comes in after, I don't know, a few minutes of no songs at the end.
Yeah.
It just comes in, and it's just beautiful.
Remember bonus tracks? When there used to
Yeah.
be like just a minute of silence after an album?
I know, I was going to say that. You don't...
Well,
You don't get
digital
them
downloads
anymore.
Speaking of stalking songs, Every Breath You Take by The Police.
Oh,
Now, that when people thought of it as like a love song, but no, I mean, it is a
Yeah.
stalker song. Is Every Breath You Take, I'll be watching you.
Yeah,
But
Gyroscope
that's
do
another
a
one.
stalking one where he's hiding underneath the bed. And
Lovely times.
yeah, beautiful.
It'd be good for Halloween.
Nothing like a bit of a stalk. Now, Steve, number 3,
Yes.
Chris Cornell's made it into my number 5.
And, I mean, why wouldn't he?
And I'm talking Black Hole Sun, but from his songbook album, which is the
Right.
live acoustic album.
Yep.
Just because the way he belts it out, Black Hole Sun.
Yeah.
Just
Yep.
pure,
Know what you're talking
like
about.
Billie Jean, pure, raw emotion, goosebumps. You can feel it.
Yep.
Number 2,
Yep.
another Aussie band.
Yep.
Aussie rockers, Trial Kennedy.
Yeah.
Off their album New Manicart, the song's called Mississippi Burn.
Okay.
Now, Steve, the guitar work by Stacey on this is freaking amazing.
Yeah.
The singing by Tim is, well, all of his songs are just mental, but this is just such a slow build up. And to see it live,
Yep.
the whole place, again,
Yeah.
just stops. I saw it in May this year for their tour.
Yep.
They did this live, and when they finished playing this song, Stacey turned around to Tim and said, I've been seeing you sing for the last 20 years and it still gives me chills.
Yeah.
And I think everyone that was at that gig or has ever seen that song will agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, number 1, Steve.
Yep.
It's a classic.
Yes.
And I swear, if I was to say songs that give me chills, this comes to mind, whether or not they got a documentary coming out tomorrow or not, whether or not our next
Topic is about them.
next topic is about them. But Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
That's probably my introduction to chills. Sends shivers down my spine. Do you know what I mean, Steve?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there are so
What
many
a
different
song.
facets to that song.
Yeah.
And it is it's a game changer,
It is.
obviously.
I'm just quite happy that it coincides with everything that's going on. It's our, Halloween special. It gives us chills. The documentary's coming out tomorrow. Our next topic is...
Our next topic is, what is your favourite Queen song?
Yeah.
On the back of the fact that their new Bohemian Rhapsody film is coming out tomorrow. So we decided, what are your top 5 Queen songs? And
Yeah.
look, I'm sure we're going to get quite a few Bohemian Rhapsodies come in, but it'd be good to hear some obscure tracks.
It would, yeah.
Yeah, so their greatest hits, they've released a number of greatest hits albums that have got a lot of good gems on them as well. The first greatest hits is like pretty much the songs that come to mind straight away. We Are the Champions.
Yeah.
Another one,
We Will
Bites the
Rock
Dust.
You.
We Will Rock You.
Yeah.
But then their second, and also their albums,
Yeah.
have got some fantastic songs on them. So we want to hear yours. So hit us up, contact at redskymusic.com.au for your favourite Queen song. We'll also put it up on our Instagram and Twitter. And
Twitter.
hit us up with your favourite Queen song.
Yeah, do it. Now, Steve, we've got some freaking awesome new music this week.
New music.
Yeah, I'm just going to jump straight into it.
Go for it, man.
The first song is The Rain King by Jacob.
Jacob.
Now, they're a Wollongong / Newcastle band.
Oh, so it's not just one guy.
Yeah.
It's not just one guy called Jacob. It's a
Hello.
band called Jacob.
Jakey Wakey, who's about to make a big mistakey. I don't know what that's from. I think it's from a movie. They've released their new single, The Rain King, taken from their second studio album, which is called Show Me Some Passion. Show me some passion, Steve, which is set for release on November 2nd through Resist Records.
Yep.
Now, Steve, the band are playing their album launch show at RAD
Yeah,
in Wollongong on November 23rd, so go check them out.
absolutely.
This is The Rain King by Jacob.
That was The Rain King by Jacob. Now, this next track, Cam, is by rockers Loser. They've just released their Restless Noise EP through Domestic Lala. The band are playing shows in Melbourne, Sydney and Brisbane, as well as appearing at The Hills Are Alive in March. I really like this EP, Cam.
Yeah.
This is awesome. I
Yeah.
think they've got a great sound, and calling it now, watch this space, because there's big things to come with this band.
I'm really glad they named their band after me as well.
Yeah, no, well,
awesome.
it's almost like it's a tribute to you, Cam.
Yeah, it's great.
So this is their new song, Phase Me, from their Restless Noise EP. So let's check it out.
Let's do it, man. Yeah, that was awesome, Steve. Phase Me by Loser.
Yep.
Up next, we've got Lulu by Speakeasy. They're a
Yep.
Sydney band, Steve,
Yeah.
and they've just released their new single, Lulu, which is inspired by an alcohol-filled night out in Byron Bay. Oh.
Oh,
My thoughts on the song, Steve, is
Yep.
it's freaking awesome. It's
Yeah.
rocking. I love it. It's right up my alley. I feel like it's going to be one of those real summery kind of songs.
Yeah.
Where, you're out in Byron Bay getting pissed and
exactly.
Now, the band are playing shows in Melbourne on November 16th at the Reverence Hotel and also in Adelaide on November 17th at the Exeter Hotel. Now, let's check out Lulu by Speak Easy.
That messy night, Byron Bay, twice my age, but that's okay. Lulu, I miss you. Would you pick up if I call? Would you pick up if I call? Lulu, I miss you. Would you pick up if I call?
That was Lulu by Speakeasy. Our next track, Cam,
Yep.
is by Brisbane alt rock four-piece The Comfort, who are set to release their debut album, What It Is to Be, on November 9th through Grayscale Records. Now, The Comfort will be supporting the Red Jumpsuit Apparatus on their upcoming Australian tour this November and December. But this track, Dissolve, I really like it. It's so many different sort of elements throughout
Yeah.
the song. It's really cool. So we'll check it out now. This is Dissolve by The Comfort.
What I need, or creating what I see.
That was dissolved by The Comfort. Up next, Steve, is one of my all-time favourite bands.
Yep.
AFI.
Yes.
A fire inside, if you will. These Californian absolute bloody rockers
Yep.
have dropped a surprise single called Get Dark this week.
Yep.
Now, they released a photo of the band with a silhouette of the band's lead singer, Davey Havok, missing, Steve.
Ooh.
And some fans thought, oh, maybe has Davey left the band? Or
I mean, who knows, Cam?
What's going on? But the following day, they announced the new EP. It's called The Missing Man.
Yep. Hence
the missing man from the photo.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Now, the full EP will be released on December 7th.
Yep.
Featuring Get Dark. So let's have a listen to Get Dark by AFI.
You said to love me anyway. Gave back the emotion on the blank exchange. You said my love is like your faith, your faith, your faith, your faith. Oh, do you think you are? Do you think you can? Get dark, get dark, get dark, get dark. Oh, do you think you are? Do you think you can? Get dark, get dark, get dark, get dark.
That was Get Dark by AFI and Cam. Our last song is by UK rockers Shapes. And our Shapes is spelt with a V instead of the A because.
I wonder if it's pizza shapes or barbecue shapes. I like pizza shapes.
I prefer pizza shapes.
Yeah.
The original, not the new version of the pizza.
Nah, that was a marketing campaign if I ever saw one.
Exactly.
Do go on, Steve.
Sorry about that. Why am I apologising to you for the pizza-shaped debacle?
You are the owner of Arnott's, aren't you?
I did forget to mention that. Anyway, back on track. UK rockers Shapes have released a video for their current single Afterlife, taken from their upcoming second studio album Greater Than, which will be released on November 9th via Search and Destroy, Spine Farm Records and Caroline Australia. The band released their debut record in 2016 and went on tour with the likes of Trivium and Bullet for My Valentine, as well as appearing at festivals all over the world.
Yeah.
So, I mean, big things, and can expect even bigger things now
Hell
that they're
yeah.
planning to release their second album. So let's have a listen to a bit of Afterlife by Shapes. So that was Afterlife by Shapes, and Cam, that brings our new music to a close for episode 16.
Another great new music segment, Steve.
They just keep getting better and better.
Oh, thank you so much for sending those through, everyone.
Yep.
AFI.
Yeah, or AFI's PR team. But, well, you know.
No, we really appreciate it. And if you want to send through new music,
Yep.
send it through to contact@redskymusic.com.au or shoot us an email. Send us your top fives or your top 5 Queen songs.
Exactly.
Be awesome. And thank you to everyone that has been doing it. We really, really appreciate it.
Absolutely. We love hearing from you, and we love checking out your new music, and we love playing you on the show and also getting your feedback. We've been getting a few hits on Instagram with people sending through their top 5, so
Yep.
we want to hear yours. So, yeah, keep them coming.
Yeah, thanks for getting involved. And Steve,
Yep.
unfortunately, that's
Yep.
the end of the episode. Number 16.
Number
Wow.
16. Wow, sweet 16.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We should
oh.
have had a 16 candles or a birthday cake or something.
Well, we were too busy Halloweening it up, weren't we?
Yeah, true.
Exactly.
We can only do so much.
Exactly.
We would squeeze more into these episodes, but there's only a certain amount of time, Steve.
Exactly.
Until next time.
Until next time.
I've been Cameron.
And I've been Steve.
It's been a pleasure.
An absolute delight, Cam.
It has, if you will.
Yes.
I will.
In fact, I will.
You will. Happy trick-or-treating, guys, and we'll catch you next week.
Bye.